on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Green Zone, the most elevated sports podcast. If you guys like what we got going on here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Be a friend, tell a friend, share it with someone, pass it along to them, and drop something in the comment. Give us some ideas of what you guys want us to talk about in the future, or if you guys liked what we're talking about here, let us know down there. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Now, let's get into the episode. Football is around the corner. We didn't do much basketball this year, but maybe next year we'll see what happens. Joining me once a fucking again. You know him. You'll love him. He's a live action figure of a silhouette. AB. Welcome, man.
Yeah, I'm fucking with my intro. I'm a live fucking action figure of a silhouette. I ain't never heard it like that. But
I couldn't help
I'm
myself.
back, man. Football season really around the corner. Like, time is going by fast. I guess that's what that tells me, because I feel like it was just Super Bowl.
Right. It's slowly but surely the draft has happened. We're rolling into off-season training camps. What is that? OTAs? Is that what it is? Teams are getting together, running through some plays, showing off some little air talent, and it's about to be a fucking good season. And we're gonna run it back with doing some team by team postseason, all-season analysis. We'll focus on the draft. We'll talk about trades. We'll talk about free agency acquisitions, free agency that maybe they can still pick up, all that fun shit. We're going to go in draft order. So today, we are going to start with the Bears. Which, the Bears, honestly, in my opinion, probably the most talked about the Bears have been in, like, media presence in, years? Starting. Yeah, I mean, like, Caleb Williams has not even played a snap for them and has put them completely on the map. Who would have fucking thought? I mean, me, I said that last year that he's going to be. I have a feeling he's just going to be the guy, But we'll get into it. Let me pull up my handy dandy notes.
Well, first, they got the number one pick, but are not the worst team in the league. I feel like that's where it starts, right? So, like, it's double.
That is a good point. Good point. So technically, this should have started with the Panthers, but the Panthers are a bunch of dumb shits. And the Panthers traded away their pick from last year to acquire the first overall draft pick from the Bears last year. So the Bears not only had a decent season last year, I think they had, 7 wins? 7-10? Not bad. But they also get the number one overall draft pick, and they draft that fool. The guy, he loves painting his nails. Caleb Williams out of USC, number one overall, which everyone knew going into it. He's touted to be the next Patrick Mahomes, if not better. I'm curious to see how close he can come to that sentiment. Can he do it with the Bears? That's a big question. AB, what are your opinions on Caleb Williams coming into the season this year?
I mean, I feel like, if I remember correctly, in one of these podcasts that we had, like, I kind of went off on him back in the day because I want to fucking with Caleb at some point. I feel like I warmed up a little more to him because it's like, this is just a new age. Like, it's these kids. What's the player from Duke? I didn't forgot his name. Doing all them little TikTok and putting his nails, that shit. But you know who I'm talking about. But that's just the new age little swag boys. So I guess I got to deal with that. But on, like, a football sense, I'm excited because, like, he's, like I said, he's not coming into the worst team in the league, right? Like, he's coming in to a 7-10 team that obviously had Justin Fields, who's somebody I really like. But just saying Caleb for now is, I think he's coming into, like, a really prime position because his team has been getting built to kind of take off. And whether they had him or Fields this year, I feel like the team was going to take off regardless. Like, I think they're a playoff team, especially in the division they're in. But I like him. I just think the offensive coordinator who I'm kind of familiar with, he was the Seahawks offensive coordinator. I want to say Shane Waldron. I like his schemes because it does simplify it for the quarterback. Like, you're not doing too much. Like, as far as, like, that's why Geno was able to succeed in it and Russell Wilson not so much, because Russell Wilson want to do too much and Geno need to do too much. But the problem is Caleb Williams excels when he's doing too much, right? Like, that's what he's done. And I feel like that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work early in the NFL. Like, he needs to get the confidence to be able to, like, hone his craft already before he kind of, like, let loose. So I just think if his offensive coordinator could, like, tighten him up enough to where he's taking check downs, he's taking 3-yard gains on first downs and, like, completely fine with that, then he got somewhere to go. But if he comes into the NFL thinking like I'm about to be the next Patrick Mahomes, I don't think it'll work out because it never works out that way. Like he needs to just, like I said, like I don't know, because now I feel like because of all the receivers they have, we're expecting at least 2,000-yard receivers, and then we expecting like 800 from Odunze. I don't think that's what's going to work for him first year. I think they need to be trying to run the fuck out of the ball and play check down game with Keenan
I
Allen,
think
get
the
the ball
league.
in the middle, and hopefully take a couple shots here and there, throw slants to DJ Moore and have him take it home. So
That's not the type of league, though. That's not how you win. And honestly, I wrote it down here a
in
little
your
bit more in
first,
the notes. I said, I think the Bears are trying to win now. They're kind of built up for it almost. Like I know they have like young talent, but they also got old ass Keenan Allen, and then they got freaking DJ Moore, who's not old, but he's a veteran in the league. Um, they're like they didn't really have many like insane like free agency acquisitions, but the dudes they signed for long term, and they're fucking positions of need. I mean, DeAndre Swift, great backfield. Like he can not only play in the backfield, but he can catch it out of the backfield, which is huge. Re-signing Jalen Johnson. You don't like Kevin Byard, but I think he's a solid safety to have. Great veteran presence in the backside, cover your number. But I think it's kind of like they're like, fuck it, we got this dude who's supposed to be the next guy, so let's gear up, show us what you can really do, and if not, we can move on in a few years. Which isn't the worst of decisions either. I think Ryan Poles is a great GM in my opinion.
I mean, we got to see if he's a great GM. I don't know if that we can say he's a great GM, but they better not be able to just move off of Caleb in a few years. You just moved off of Justin Fields in 3 years, who you moved up for in the draft. Like that wasn't we sat back and drafted them, so like you kind of already invested there. I don't know. We got to see.
Yeah.
When was the last rookie quarterback where the expectation is we want him to ball and take off this rookie season because we about to win now, and it worked out? I don't remember.
You don't remember Andrew Luck? That's one of them. But I think there's more
It
recent
didn't
than
work.
that.
It
I
didn't work.
mean,
Andrew Luck's rookie season was tough. He had a tough rookie season. He had success,
they
but
went
bro was
11 and
getting
5.
right front and back. If I remember, RG3 was the rookie of the year. Wasn't no damn Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but he also went 11 and 5.
Yeah, but the expectation was not 11-5. Don't tell me it was. Y'all won 2 games the season
Yeah.
before. The expectations
No.
was Andrew Luck is the standard. He's gonna come in and ball, but I don't think it was. Oh, he needs to come in and make the playoffs. He overachieved.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I have a
You're a
differing
Colts
opinion.
fan.
I
You're
mean,
not objective. I'm telling you, the expectation was not
I know
the Colts are about to ball and make the playoffs this year.
that was our expectation as Colts
Yo,
fans. I mean, and he did it. I mean, that you said the expectations were not, but like as Colts, not Colts fans, but like the Colts brass, they also were expecting him to come in and be the guy. Like that's why they wanted Peyton to stay for another year so they could really like learn under him. But didn't even fucking need that. Imagine if that would have happened. My God. I mean, anyways, expected to come in and be the guy. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I feel like that is kind of what it is this day and age, though. Is they draft so many of these young like Drake May, for example. I think he needs to sit his first year, and he's the fucking third overall draft pick. Talk about him in another podcast, but I. I don't think these guys need to be going in and immediately starting every single time. I think Caleb's one of the guys that can do it. I think Bo Nix is another one because of how much experience he had in college football. I mean, he played for fucking 6 seasons, 63 or 62 different
He
games.
older than me,
Um,
brother.
yeah, right. And then I think Jaden Daniels has a chance because he's also played for a long time, and in 2 different conferences. So we've seen his skills develop over time.
I
Dominated in
mean,
the SEC, kinda. I mean, he had crazy weapons, but so did Joe Burrow. And look at him now; he's still, touted as a top 5 quarterback in the league.
yeah, no, I agree that he could come in and start and play, but I don't think the expectation should be he needs to come carry the team already. Like it need to be we just
Oh
need
no, 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 no!
to back.
I don't think so either. No, that's what I was saying. They built the team to center around him. That's more what I was
Right,
getting
right. Okay, no, okay.
at.
I'm rocking with you on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's built to come in and succeed. I'm more so just like
Yeah.
we shouldn't be having the same expectations on him as we got like Kirk Cousins. Like Kirk Cousins is supposed to take that team to the playoffs. Like that's what everybody expects out of paying
Yeah, but
100.
that team's trash.
Well,
That
look, we
team's
about to
kinda
see
trash.
what happened there. But
They in the trash division, not that hard. And then also, like, if you look at their schedule, I pinned them at, like, 10 or 11 wins. Like it's not like it's a very hard schedule. They were running a third place division schedule. Yeah, it's not insane. I had them beat. They could even beat us because our defense. We don't have the best secondary coverage, and I feel like Caleb's going to expose us, in my opinion. Just
Well, last year when they went on the streak, that defense really came. So defense is on up.
But they also drafted Roma Duze out of the 9th overall pick out of Washington. Pretty much a stud, all around complete receiver. From what everyone was saying, he's kind of like has the maturity to be that guy already. Can he perform in the NFL? TBD, but I feel like more often than not. Oh no, that's actually not true because they say wide receiver is the most flamed out position for 75% of all draft picks in the first round don't pan out for wide receivers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes sense though if you think about it. I mean, there's not a lot of like the good receivers in the leagues are like second, third rounders.
I mean, you could think of a whole bunch of good first rounders too, but I guess you can also think about a bad first rounders.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some good first rounders out there. Don't get me wrong. It seems like more and more like you're finding these like late round receivers that are coming out balling, dominating them. And Ruma Dunze, does he have the chance to do it? Of course. Can he do it? Who the fuck knows?
I mean, I guess because the chances of him doing it with two other number one receivers, like what you think about that? Because I feel like JSN had the same problem last year, where if he went to another team, he for sure would have went over 1,000 yards and like did his thing. But he came to a team where he was pretty much a third receiver, so he had to kind of work his way up.
That's a good. Yeah. No. I think it makes it easier for him. Think about this: they're going to roll coverage to either one of those two. Especially probably to DJ Moore, and then Keenan Allen. He's more of a underneath check down type of route runner, slants and all that fun shit. It opens up Roma Dunze to kind of hit that intermediate space because DJ Moore can burn him. I mean, Rome could too, but it kind of opens the field better for him. You also didn't in Seattle. You didn't have like the best overall scheme, in terms of offense. So could Waldron do that?
Got the same scheme because it's the same damn offensive coordinator. So
yeah, no, I know. So it's TBD. But you also, I think, comparing like if you compare, because like okay, DJ Moore, you could put him at DK equal, right? And then you have Tyler Lockett and Keenan Allen. Tyler Lockett's better than Keenan Allen.
You think Tyler Lockett's better than Keenan Allen?
At this point in their careers,
I'm taking Keenan Allen over Tyler Lockett.
Keenan gets hurt.
Well, if we're talking about
the best ability is
injuries and all that stuff, sure. But I thought if we just talking about as a player, I'm taking Keenan.
No, if we're talking pure talent, yeah, but you also need a player who can be there and be a number one and consistent and be healthy. I mean, he's been consistent for a long time. He's been that guy. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. And you're a Seahawks fan, man. I'm glad you can't be biased.
I'm a Seahawks fan. Keeping it real. Like I fuck with you already know I fuck with Tyler, but I gotta keep it real. I'll take Keenan Allen over Tyler Lockett any day because Keenan Allen's a number one receiver.
He is a baller. He is an absolute baller. He's old too. How old is he? 32 at this point?
Yeah, I mean, how old do you think Tyler Lockett is? At least 30.
I mean, at least 30. Yeah. No, good point. They also drafted Kieran. How the fuck do you say that? Amagaje?
Oh yeah, the big Nigerian tackle. Look, that's fucking off. That's a good tee off that tackle because what do you think about? All right, you got all these weapons, which is great. This is the NFL. You need an O line, and the Bears, like the one thing they for Justin Fields is not an O line. They never had an O line. I don't know what moves they made this offseason if they made it a little better, but the O line has definitely been a struggle, which is why Fields didn't have time to throw open. So I feel like they might be building it a little too outside in because I think if you already had Keenan Allen and DJ Moore is at least long term. So I feel like at that point, instead of drafting a receiver, you better off either trading back and getting more depth or staying there and drafting like the best available offensive lineman that is like a plug and play. 10 years, you don't got to worry about that position. So I think they should be thinking like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, they needed. I understand what you're saying, but I also think Justin Fields compared to Caleb Williams. But it could be. I could be wrong on this, but I don't think Justin Fields equates to Caleb Williams. I think Caleb will far succeed his superiority. You can't pass up drafting him, regardless of who. Like, there's like probably 6 teams that would have like not picked him. I wouldn't even doubt the Colts would have taken him if we had the first overall pick.
I'm talking about Rome. I'm talking about Rome at the 9th overall pick. Of
Who
course,
the
you
fuck?
take.
Well, I went completely off topic then. My high ass. Oops.
You over here talking about you should draft. I'm like, I know I'm fucking with Caleb, but you got to draft your offensive
You know,
lineman,
I
bro.
think like Caleb dropping down. Yeah, it was a surprise pick. I mean, I think everyone, because also Joe Alt was off the board at that point, so you can't really get like the best O tackle. And this was a very, very. I mean, if you look at the draft board, it was an insanely heavy first round for offensive tackles. So like, but not only that, it was or an offensive lineman, but also if you look at the rest of the draft, there's a shit ton of them. Like, this was probably one of the best years for wide receivers and for offensive linemen.
Oh yeah.
They were everywhere. Zach Zinter, who was an absolute stud, just got hurt at Michigan, drafted in the 3rd round. He would have been a first rounder if he didn't get hurt, like, and he's just hurt. Like, it's not like you can't come back from it. It's just great. We drafted a couple offensive linemen late rounds that are going to be probably one could be a starter and one would be like a rotation guy, if not just a good old solid backup at center. So I don't think they did anything wrong by getting a dynamic receiver that could help add, because for the longest time, the Bears like whole draft philosophy has been defense, and then now it's like they completely did this whole 180, and now it's like, okay, we're going full offense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just what I thought. Then again, yeah, I mean, I put in my notes they needed more linebacker and defensive end and defensive tackle help, so not necessarily.
Situation and that because
Well, so what you love Justin Fields? What about him inspires you to be so excited about what the potential he has?
for Justin Fields, not much now because I still feel like he got a bad O line that he going to. But let's see what Pittsburgh looks like. But really, it's like all the quarterbacks that succeeded either have been in a great situation to succeed, or there's like one or two where like they're just great and like they was gonna succeed anyway. But like if you can name me a young quarterback, like CJ Stroud is the one where like he ended up being in a great situation, but it didn't seem like it going into it. Like I didn't think anybody was like, oh, with this team, like he gonna really take off. Other than that, like if you look at the Mahomes or Joe Burrows, like everybody went into a situation where they're not going into the worst team in the league, and the team that they're going to is trying to build around them. They got a number one receiver, or they trade for a number one receiver, like you got with Josh Allen, you got with Tua Tagovailoa. They start to build a team around them. They go sign free agents to like maybe a high price left tackle because you got your quarterback on a rookie deal and make moves like that. But if you look at the Bears, Fields came in. Bro, the offensive coordinator was like, first of all, they weren't trying to start him. They were trying to start the backup. Then they finally started him, and then they had him playing the scheme like the backup. Like they had him trying to be a pocket passer straight up and down. And then it just got to the point where he just showed his athletic ability so much that then they try to transition into let's kind of tailor the offense after him, which is already kind of a fuck up, right? Then you come in his second season. Second season, he kind of shows promise, but again, now he got a new offensive coordinator. He's still on the Bears. Don't got a receiver, bro. Tell me that Darnell Mooney, bro. Darnell Mooney. If Darnell Mooney is your number one receiver, like, bro, I had hope. Last year I got him in fantasy. Darnell Mooney gave me like 10 points the whole year, bro. Like, so if Darnell Mooney, huh?
He wasn't their number one last year.
No, he wasn't their number one last year, but that's why I drafted him because I'm like, he's gonna be a nice number two, a good value player. He was trash, and then the year he was number one, which was Phil's second year, he was also trash. So last year really is the first year that you actually put him with a receiver. And if you watch the games where they got comfortable, him and DJ Moore just had chemistry. And I still don't even feel like they have good scheme yet. They still don't have a good O line. And he pretty much just had to will that team. And like just based on his confidence, like I know he's not a Daniel Jones. Like he's never been after a good game, bad game. Justin Fields is Justin Fields, right? He kind of got that Anthony Richardson to him to where you feel like no matter what he do, like he gonna come out there and be like, all right, I'll just come back and go a little harder. And that's how I feel about Justin Fields. So just put him in the right situation to see. Like, like your boy Anthony Richardson is in a situation where you feel like he's gonna succeed. He already got a number one receiver, got him extended. They drafted
Yeah.
one that's nice, and then they got an
And
overall
that's
well-rounded team, with a good O line. So it's like put him in a situation where he can't succeed. If he doesn't succeed, then I'll give it up. I'll be like Justin Fields is trash. Like, but he hasn't been in a situation to succeed. That's why I'm high on him.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of I told you last year that the Colts receiving core was gonna pop off and be a little bit more noteworthy. And look at us now, Josh Downs, Pitt, and now we got fucking
Hold on to that.
Adonai Mitchell. Fuck, dog, we're going. Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, no, you make a good point. You make a good point. Um, but at the same time, you have this player who's supposed to be the next one. He's supposed to be the next Mahomes, the next Peyton Manning, the next Andrew Luck, which gets talked about every so often. Like Trevor Lawrence is also touted to be in that same realm. You know what I mean? But you just never know. And everything that you've seen on the tape is the best, the number one. He is far and exceedingly sure he has his flaws, but all quarterbacks do. You know what I mean? Um, and you say no to that? Like
No,
what do you?
with
That's
Caleb,
my that's
I don't think he's hyped. I think he's like appropriately like kind of set where he should be. With Trevor
agreed.
Lawrence was like,
Agreed.
it's like, don't get me wrong, he did win that championship, but it's like Trevor Lawrence was, because of his hair, because he was the number one recruit coming out of high school, because his first year starting Clemson was a powerhouse. He was kind of built up to like be Andrew Luck, or like, and I never thought that. I was like, Trevor Lawrence is nice, but I didn't think he was better than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was better than Trevor Lawrence, and still is. Well, I don't know if he really still is, because Deshaun after the scandal, pre scandal Deshaun, I'm taking over Trevor Lawrence. You know, so it's like I feel like
We'll
he was
call him
built.
brief.
Somebody like Deshaun. Deshaun was never built up. He just kind of played himself into being good. I think the same with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams kind of came out of nowhere in Oklahoma and just balled the fuck out. So then everybody was like, all right, this motherfucker's nice. And then had one full year to actually come and ball and won the Heisman, like by far. Came in second year,
Yep.
kind of struggled a little bit. But most quarterbacks after they peak in college, they don't come back and top that the year after, most quarterbacks,
Well,
right?
that's not even no. That's not his fault. He had no weapons. His own look at he got
What?
Brendan Rice. That motherfucker was drafted 5th round, and then his number is like actual like good receiver was a fucking rookie, Zachariah Brandt, or not rookie, but a freshman. So he's a young gun coming out of nowhere. You know, like he's not going to be completely shaped to be a number one yet. So he had no help. The first year, look, he had fucking Jordan Addison. Addison's a fucking baller in the NFL now, and I fucking called that one too. Slash one on the fucking board for Cody. But
Fuck
yeah,
everybody.
I
You a hater. You can't
yeah.
take no credit for Jordan Addison. Go talk about some UCLA receiver.
No, I love football. I've told Danny, you can see I have our text messages. I told him when you guys drafted him, I was like, you guys just drafted an absolute stud because I've watched him. I don't get me wrong, I hate USC, but I'm not gonna not watch their football games. I'm not gonna not pay attention. And when they got an absolute stud, especially when you got Caleb Williams slinging the rock to him, coming out of like nowhere, drafted, originally like committed to Oklahoma and then transferring to USC with Lincoln Riley, this huge news. Of course, the fuck I'm gonna watch. Come on,
Yeah.
don't
Addison
throw
is.
no shade on my name, bro. Don't throw
Well,
no
yeah, now
shade.
you making my point though with Caleb. I feel like he wasn't really built up, and like his little demise this year is overrated. So he gonna be nice. I fuck with
Oh,
him.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. I think he's going to be. That's what I said. I think he's easily going to add 3 wins to their total, 10 wins. I could see it happening pretty easily, going from 7 to 10. I'm not expecting him to necessarily make the playoffs. They're a tough division. Talk about that. You're playing with the Packers and the Lions. Packers fucking crushed it this offseason. And then fucking Lions have looked like solid team for the past 2 years, 3 years. Like ever since Dan Campbell came in, you see a complete shift in mentality in what the Lions are doing. So even the Vikings,
The Vikings ain't
Sam
really.
Darnold
Vikings
Sam
ain't.
Darnold
Vikings ain't.
Sam Darnold has not had a legitimate offensive coordinator, and now he has probably one of the best in the
I
league
mean,
in
he just
Kevin
had Kyle
O'Connell.
Shanahan, but I mean, obviously he wasn't a starter. But I mean,
He wasn't a
what?
starter. He wasn't a starter. It's a
Wasn't a
little bit
starter.
different. He got a weapon, Jay Jettis. That dude, Darnold does have a rocket of an arm. It's kind of one of his attributes. Can move a little bit. Who knows? If Josh Dobbs can succeed in that offense, Who the fuck to say Sam Darnold can't?
Hey, Josh Dobbs was
I'm
doing
not
his
gonna
thing,
say that
bro. It was like 4 different teams he was succeeding on. He a baller.
smart as shit. But it only lasts so long because he comes in, he's able to recognize and understand the offense very quickly, so people aren't expecting him to pop off. And then you kind of see a fade, and he's not as good as he, it's just a hype.
Yeah, definitely.
James Harden. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Let's see, anything else with the fucking Bears? Go Bears.
So you got the Bears, what, 10-win team. So what, you think they make the playoffs alongside the Lions? Because I think the Lions is winning that division. Like the Lions is low key building a powerhouse, and I think they only get better, especially with the draft that they
I
have.
guess them, Packers, and the Bears all making the
You think
playoffs.
all 3
in
make
the
the playoffs? All right, that's kind of crazy. I don't see that happening. Because if that happens, then Minnesota will probably have like 2 wins because they're gonna have to be losing all them.
Minnesota can make it too. I'm gonna call it the
Okay.
first 14 division play.
You got to put this on some bullshit. That's not. Moving on. Where the command?
Hey, bruh, if that shit happens, you'll never live it down. You'll hate me forever. I'll fucking every time I see you, be like,
I'll give
14
you a credit.
called it.
You know what happened?
I mean, the NFC's weak as shit though. So like, I mean, the Commanders. We're gonna talk about them next. They're with Eagles. Who the fuck knows? Can Sirianni turn that shit around? You got Cowboys. Cowboys will win the division, and then no one else will be like relevant. I feel like the Eagles. Hopefully they turn around, but who the fuck knows? And then like the South, NFC South, one team's gonna make it from there. The Bucks made it at 9-7, and then if you who are the NFC West, okay, then that's where it's kind of a little scary because you got potential for 4 different teams to make it.
3 teams, bro. Chill out. I don't know why you so high on the playoffs.
Kyler's not. He is a good to great quarterback. He's not top 5, but he's 6 to 10.
Kyler
Marvin
Murray?
Harrison. Yeah.
Kyler Murray ain't 6 to 10. Not right now, man.
I think just because he was hurt a lot of last year, but like, look at they started winning too much. The people were saying like the Cardinals need to sit him because he just started winning a bunch when he came back.
I like Kyler. I give you 10 on if we talk about talent and potential, yes. If we talk about like in reality, I don't think he's 10 yet. But if we talk about talent and potential, I'll give you like 10.
I think he's just there now. I mean, I don't know. It's just my opinion. If you're there for the Cardinals once, we can debate back and forth. Bears. Anything else with these hoe asses? Young quarterback, no NFL experience, no shit. Defensive coach. Is Eberflus on the hot seat?
For sure. This is his last year if they don't make the playoffs, like you said, or if they don't win 9 games and show that Caleb Williams just got a ball. If Caleb Williams ball and they win 7 games, he gonna be back. But if he balls and let's say they win 3 games, then they're gonna be like, all right, the coaches are probably we got a quarterback. But he pretty just gotta get Caleb Williams ball, win about 7 games, he can be back. Not hard to do.
Yeah. All right. I don't know about that. I think they need to switch to offensive coordinator, like our offensive coach. Probably be looking at Ben Johnson.
Switch the whole head coach, the offensive minded coach. I mean, I don't think that matters. I think if we've got a good
I think they
offensive,
should hire Ben Johnson. That would be fucking fire. I think that would be a solid the offensive coordinator for the Lions.
overrated, but whatever. Let that slide.
What do you mean? He's taking Jared Goff, who was sucking with the Rams with a guru. And then he built him up with a decent team around him. I mean, they got solid weapons around him, and they're winning with a great scheme. That's the only reason why they're winning.
Is he the next great coach? Like, that's what people are talking about. Like, he the next great coach. Like, he's good. Like, I mean, he's
no Shane Steichen. That's the next great coach.
All right.
And you can't deny that one. That fool is.
Nice.
Look at what he did with Gardner Minshew. Like, the fuck?
No, Shane nice.
I think Shane's gonna be the next Andy Reid. He just needs to win 2. We'll see what happens.
You always
stay healthy,
bro. Like, you can't be like he gonna be the next Sean Payton, the next another good offense, Kyle Shanahan. Like, you got to be Andy Reid. Like, you got to be one of the best all time. You're not there yet. Just chill out.
I know. You've bet me. I'm big swinging. I'm throwing it out there. I'm just waving that shit all around, bro. I'm letting it fly. I fucking
Pause.
myself.
I don't know what you letting fly and while I'm over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, but no, I do think he's gonna be a great coach. I don't know if he's Andy Reid level, but we'll see what happens. Anything else, Bears? Yeah, Eberflus hot seat. I think Ben Jones to be. I'm just saying because I think offensive scheming wise, giving Caleb, I think he could scheme up to fit his needs rather than to build an offense that he's good at, which I think is kind of a little bit more his focus. Any closing thoughts on the Bears? The Bears. What do you think? Over? Give me this over under 8 wins.
Over. I'll take the over on 8 wins because I'll take 9
All
wins.
right.
It can go up 9 and 8. That's not even. That's them like 8 and 8. 9 and 8 is cool.
Yeah, that's a new mid pick. That's crazy. 10-7 is just like not great. All right. Anyways, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. The Bears. Up next is the Commies. The Commanders. Fuck them. There's probably gonna be a quicker one. A lot less talk about, but they did kind of do a whole exodus. We'll look into it. If you guys enjoy this, please consider liking, subscribing, hit that notification bell. Please just help us grow. We're trying to get there. We'll get better. I'll probably put up a prop, make it look prettier. We'll figure it out. Have a great day. Go smoke some weed. Peace.